What's up, guys? My name is Miles.
And my name is Fez.
And this is The Commodity. And today we're reacting to life in Manila versus Cebu City. 7 differences in 6 minutes.
Cool.
No, so this was recommended to us. I found it interesting because we have reacted to Manila and Cebu. So I want to know what the differences are, and it states best cities in the Philippines ? Which one would we want to visit? You know,
We all know the answer.
yeah. So let's go ahead and hop in, find out, and see what we can do. Before we do, go ahead and click that subscribe button if you want to see our next videos. Click the bell notification. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. It definitely helps us get this video out to more people. And if you want to help support the channel even further, you can click the join button down below.
Let's hop in.
Two of the largest and most famous cities in the Philippines are Manila and Cebu City. And even though they obviously have a lot of similarities, they also have quite a few differences. Here are 7 major ones. Location. Manila is located on the island of Luzon in the northern part of the Philippines and on the eastern shores of Manila Bay. The city is divided into 16 districts, and the Pasig River runs right through the center of the city. Cebu City is located on the island of Cebu, more towards the center of the Philippines.
I know we've seen that before, but I didn't realize how far they were from each other.
It has a total of 80 different neighborhoods and is sandwiched between the sea to the south and the mountains to the north. Pollution.
Stunning as
Manila,
well.
unfortunately, has some of the worst pollution in the Philippines. The air pollution caused by cars, open dump sites, construction, and industrial waste affects 98% of the population of the city and contributes to more than 4,000 deaths per year.
Wow.
The Pasig River, which runs through the city, is one of the most polluted rivers in the world, with around 75 tons of industrial waste and 150 tons of domestic waste dumped into it daily.
So when we've reacted to these cities, we've seen all the amazing beauty of them. This is one thing that we actually haven't gotten to see.
It's some of the negatives.
On a lot of countries that we react to, we don't look at any of the negatives. And not to say, I mean, obviously the United States has a big part to do with pollution and things like that.
Heck yeah. We're awful about
everybody
it.
has their flaws, but that's cool to see from another perspective.
Now, I will say this is 100% factual. So if you're going to take advice from anybody, take it from me. If that place is that bad in sewage, or at least harmful for you, what it is it's a way to get your superpowers.
Yes.
You will become a superhero. You swim in it. Don't do it. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Luckily, there already are quite a few efforts to help clean up the river and the city as a whole, but they still have a long way to go.
That's
Cebu City
good
doesn't
that they're
have
putting effort
nearly the
into
same
it.
pollution problems as Manila. Most of Cebu City's pollution problems come from the city's intense traffic, and they are implementing better emission testing on vehicles to hopefully combat the problem. In addition, though, air quality can even be affected by other countries. In 2019, Cebu City had unsafe levels of smog in the air that came from forest fires all the way from Indonesia on the island of Borneo. Luckily, the air cleared up after a couple of days. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to control pollution problems in cities that have such dense populations. Speaking of population. Manila has a population of 1.7 million people based on the 2015 census. While that may seem like a low number when compared to other cities like New York, London,
It's huge
and
compared to the
Manila is actually
square
the most
mileage.
densely populated city in the world as of 2019, as those 1.7 million people live in an area that's only 43 square kilometers, which amounts to 46,000 people per square kilometer. Cebu City has a more modest population of 1 million, also based on the 2015 census. Unlike Manila, however, they have a much lower population density. The area of the city is 315 square kilometers, making the population density 2,900 people per square kilometer, meaning that Cebu City doesn't even break the top 60 world cities in terms of population density. As we both know, there are many more millions of people living in both of these two cities, but that also includes the metropolitan areas, and for now we want to focus on basically the
That's a
city
beautiful
center.
building.
But these two cities combined have the same population as my whole country. What? Food. Manila is the food capital of the Philippines, and you can find all sorts of great foods there, from street snacks to bakery items to full sit-down meals.
I like
Specialties of the
food.
Manila food scene include dishes
That
like
looks
cheese
amazing.
ice cream, isok, vek.
Cheese ice cream.
That sounds like an awesome combination to me.
Helmets, fishballs, pansit mami, ensaymada, and of course, halo halo. Cebu City also has their own unique food culture, where Manila is more influenced by Chinese cuisine. Cebu City has more of a Korean influence mixed with their own style. Popular foods in Cebu City include things like barbecued everything, mango pizza, puso rice, lechon, pochero, siomai, gohong, and of course, putomaya. Public transportation. Manila has a public transportation system that is severely lacking, which has caused horrible traffic on the roads through the years as more people are forced to buy cars to get to where they need to be. Manila has a metro system, but it only has 3 lines and almost exclusively goes around the perimeter of the city. There are also buses and jeepneys, but they are not the most popular, especially since they help contribute to the major congestion on Manila's roads.
That's
Cebu
crazy.
City isn't that much better, unfortunately. Because of their smaller population, they don't face quite the same traffic as Manila, but they still have very congested roads and inadequate public transport.
I will say from what we've seen so far, Manila would have been my bet, and I assume that's what you meant.
I was just kidding. I didn't know.
Cebu City seems like a more logical, if someone was to move there per se.
Right.
Cebu City seems like that would be the way to go. Again, not downing another city or anything, but just from a bigger perspective, there's already so many people in Manila.
Yeah. Which would be cool too, because it's like people want to move to New York because it's so populated.
Right.
So it's kind of especially with the denseness and all that kind of stuff. I personally, that wouldn't be for me because it's so dense. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I'm not into.
That's super crazy.
Super crazy dense. Well, it's the craziest.
Yeah. If we're talking crazy, it's the craziest.
It's craziest.
Buses and jeepneys that can sometimes be useful for short trips around the more popular areas of the city. But apart from that, the only other reliable ways for getting around are taxis, Grab, and habal, which apparently are motorbike taxis.
I want to ride with that.
Ooh,
That's
if I
trippy.
ever actually get a base somewhere around the world, I will definitely choose a place that has motorbike taxis. I really do think that's the best thing ever. And it's quite affordable as well. Jobs. Manila is the financial and economic capital of the Philippines and is emerging as a major tech startup hub in Southeast Asia, as many young, educated, English-speaking people are starting to get foreign investment in their companies. Currently, some of the most popular jobs in Manila are in IT, banking, service, and tourism sectors. Even though Cebu City isn't quite the same business behemoth as Manila, they have seen an increase in the number of new businesses in the last few years. Their most popular jobs are still in the hotel and tourism industries, but they've also seen a steady rise in the number of IT, engineering, accounting, and architectural jobs as well, making Cebu City an increasingly economically prosperous
That's gorgeous.
city. Attractions. There are obviously tons of things to see in Manila, and I could never list them all, but here are some of the most popular attractions. San Agustin Church, San Agustin Museum, Chinatown, the Manila Baywalk, Fort Santiago, Rizal Park, Manila Cathedral, National Museum of Fine Arts, and Casa Manila.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
It
Cebu
looks
City
like there should be like a bunch of like French, like little coffee places and stuff like that inside there, where you have like little tiny tables for 2.
Mm-hmm. With the little cups.
Yeah, that's what it
Has
looks
a
like.
ton of attractions, but here's just a taste of the things to see there. The Cebu Heritage Monument, 1730 Jesuit House, Cebu Metropolitan Cathedral,
Those are cool.
Mountain View Nature Park, Basilica del Santo Niño.
I'll bet the view from that. Obviously, it's based around the mountain view.
Yeah.
But I'll bet the view from that pool is intense.
Yeah.
Crown Regency Sky Experience,
That's
Jumalan
awesome.
Butterfly
Nope.
Sanctuary, Tops Lookout, Taoist Temple.
The
and you can
butterfly
even
thing
go
would be
diving
dope.
with whale sharks in the ocean. Apparently,
Yeah,
even though these
scary.
two cities are both in exactly the same country and they're both incredibly big, but they also have quite a few differences. Let me know what you thought about these differences in the comment section down below. If you have a different opinion, that's wonderful. Absolutely can't wait to read it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I kind of feel so. It's kind of like, so I'm from San Antonio, which is literally, what is that, like 6 hours south of us? Something like that, 5 hours. So they're literally in the same state. They're roughly, San Antonio is a little bit bigger than Dallas, but you've got to take in metropolitan areas and stuff like that into account. but it's kind of like this. It's all somewhat close to each other, and I mean, you know, relatively speaking. But it really depends on the very specifics that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, the only reason that I like Dallas more than San Antonio is there are things in Dallas to keep people busy, and it keeps more people out of trouble.
Right.
San Antonio, it's very touristy. It's the most visited place in Texas. But if you don't want to go to Six Flags or SeaWorld or those kind of places, it gets old after a while. So, I mean, I pictured this like that. Like, I have a feeling, one, you're going to either find, like, home. My parents love San Antonio like home, but Dallas is different for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's you literally got to live there to really be able to compare the two.
Yeah, and I think we'd need to visit both to be able to compare the two. Based off of this, with his facts, which I don't know if they're all 100% true or not, let us know in the comments. But based off of that, I think Cebu City would be a smarter decision, also a healthier decision. But again, we'd have to be there in person to know for a fact. So let us know in the comments if you're from either of these places, or if you visited either of these places and which one you prefer.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see our future videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. And if you want to support us directly, hit the join button. And with that being said,
My name is Miles.
my name is Fez.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
Out.